Let me do this one real quick for the IBMORs. You know what? I am sick of talking about Kamala Harris. I really am. I'm also sick at the boule or the upper classes of black people trying to sell this woman to us. You know, I've to actually talk about this on 2 consecutive hangouts, right? At the very beginning, talking about Cory Booker and Kamala Harris. Cory Booker I can kind of understand because at least we know who he is. At least Cory Booker is known in his state and in the nation, right? Kamala Harris is not even famous inside California, much less to the nation. It wasn't like she was a state senator. She was attorney general, but the thing is, she wasn't like she was a governor or lieutenant governor or mayor or something like that. No. I mean, she's part of the San Francisco Bay Area machine with Willie Brown, but that's about it. And just because she's of mixed race, they're going to try to sell her as the new Barack Obama. I mean, I don't mean to sound condescending, but there is a difference between Howard Law School and Harvard Law School. Sorry. And Barack Obama did edit the law review. Barack Obama never went to anything that wasn't either Ivy or near Ivy. You know, he went to Columbia, and then he went to Harvard. He's gone to elite schools his whole life, basically born, bred, and raised to do what he did. It seemed like he came out of nowhere. There is a vast difference between Kamala Harris and Barack Obama. I'm sorry. So I don't get what people are going ragging on about Kamala Harris. I'm not saying that she's a nobody. She's probably a decent politician in her own right, but I'm saying that's decent. In California, basically Kamala Harris is, Kamala Harris is like, so what? Now, I understand that some people are impressed with her. Why? I don't know. Her record is spotty. It's troublesome. Her personal life, as far as politics and optics are concerned, is troublesome. People say, well, it doesn't matter that she's married to a white man. Well, no, it doesn't. Personally, I could care less who she's married to. I could care less about interracial marriage. But as far as optics is concerned, you're not going to get very many black votes being married to a white man. Unless you want to dub Kamala Harris as the new Olivia Pope. Doubt that's going to go very far. And the optics amongst white folks isn't that keen either. Now, with all this baggage that Kamala Harris has from California, plus not having the charisma, if she had the charisma, she'd have done this a long time ago. She'd have been senator a long time ago if she had the charisma of Barack Obama. She doesn't. Barack Obama was smart enough to know that he wouldn't be president with a white wife. He knew that. So why anybody would take Kamala Harris as a serious candidate for the president of the United States just because she announced she's running on Martin Luther King's birthday. I mean, if this was 1920, I would understand, but this is 2020. Okay, this is the age of the internet, Twitter. Everybody with a bone to pick about your record and what your personal life is can post it immediately, even if it's a rumor. And your record is not clean and you don't have the charisma of Donald Trump. So for the past month, I've seen all these people go in on Kamala Harris. Why? Because the upper classes are trying to shove it down our throats, right? If the upper classes could shove it down our throats, the black community would have been on code a long time ago. The time to have issues is not 2 years before the election. Okay, I can understand if you have issues like 6 months before the election that you have to clean up. But if it's 2 years, baby, you're not going to make it. So that's why I have never done a video on her or even talked about her, because in my heart of hearts, I don't think that she's a serious candidate. I don't care how much money George Soros and the boule throw behind her. You've never been out in the streets. You've never really passed any decent legislation helping black people in California. Hell, I talked to 3 or 4 people that are in your area, in San Francisco, basically your home base. They barely know about you. And you're going to run for president as a blank slate that's not a blank slate? You better have a whole lot of jack in your back pocket. I do mean a whole lot of jack in your back pocket to be the first woman of color, as they say, and bypass all those white women that haven't got their shot. They could accept Barack Obama because he's a man, a black man at that. But white women thinking that you're going to jump over them? Hardly. One thing I'm glad about is that at the very least, black people are becoming politically savvy. Maybe that's what it is. They gave them something early enough to where they're actually going to pay attention to politics. Maybe that'll get them to vote, to get involved with the horse race. Personally, I haven't seen a candidate that I like. I do mean even like. I'm sure at some point there'll be a candidate that will emerge that has a good chance of winning. That is maybe the lesser of two evils that I may pick. But to take these crop of characters seriously as president, come on now. The only reason they look halfway decent is because they're being compared to the dude in the White House. If Barack Obama could come back with Michelle and actually enter the race and run again, he'd slay all these black folks. They all back up, pack up, and go home. Like him or not, Barack Obama had Jack. He had charisma. He could hold court. When Barack Obama gave a speech, he had 30,000 people lining up just to hear him speak. Oh, yes. People forget. Barack Obama was a rock star. That's what Joe Biden found out. That's how Joe Biden became his vice president. He walked in on Barack Obama's campaign, found out this dude's a rock star. This dude had it. Show me something comparable with Kamala Harris. You get Kamala Harris in a place in the middle of Oregon and 30,000 people show up. Then you get my attention. Till then, don't give me this Kamala Harris, this Cory Booker, this other kind of crap. Come on now. If you want to be president in this country and you are not a white man, you don't need an Uber. You don't need a Lyft. You need a steamroller. You need a goddamn earth mover. And every time I've heard Kamala Harris talk, she sounds like a grandmother, not a president. Ms. Harris, I'm going to give you some advice. For the most part, you've played it pretty safe as far as being a politician. And it serves you well. You rose up the ranks by playing politics, playing favorites, staying on the right side of the deal, and not taking chances. It shows. Had of taken chances, I'd have known who you were a long time ago rather than just a name on the ballot and you not being white. If you really want to be president, you're going to have to take chances. You're going to have to own whatever legacy that you have built, and you're going to have to turn that and make it look like it's something. You're going to have to not stop riding on Dr. Martin Luther King's coattails and be Dr. Martin Luther King, because that's what it's going to take. You're going to have to be Sojourner Truth. You're going to have to be Harriet Tubman. You're going to have to talk in a voice that's going to actually electrify people. And you, so far, sweetie, you are far from that. I don't know who's coaching you, but you are not white and you are not Hillary Clinton. You can't follow her. You can't try to stand in Barack Obama's shoes and be Hillary. That's what lost Hillary 3 elections. OK, that's what had Hillary crying. And if it wasn't for white woman privilege, she wouldn't even been close to Barack Obama. So unless you want to run and you want to be crying, you better start firing that fire and start bringing that fire, because if you want to get black folks excited, that's what they're going to want from you. And you're going to have to start listening to what black folks about what they want, because you can't win them. White folks are not going to trust you if you can't win over black folks. I'm sorry. And you are not doing a good job. Half the black women don't like you because you have a white man. Half the black dudes don't like you because you've been locking up black dudes when you're in California. And you're a woman. And you're not a completely black woman. And you're married to a white man on top of that. So black dudes definitely ain't going to trust you. And all your AKAs, your sisterhood, BLM, and all those other folks cannot shame black people into following you. Ain't going to happen. So if you're not going to be serious, nobody's going to take you serious. And nobody has. And basically, if it wasn't for the black intelligentsia go railing in on you, nobody would even know who you are. Because as far as most black people are concerned, they really don't care about you. They never heard of you. There's nothing for them to get excited about as far as even paying attention to you. As far as I'm concerned, this argument about Kamala Harris is just black folks with money, or black folks that are the upper class that follow this stuff. This is their argument, because most black folks down here in the regular classes are insulted. This is what you give us. This is what you give us. Is this your queen? With that, I'm going to jump off of here. This is BGS out, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.